The unforgivable human cost of major sporting events. Everton breaks ground on its new stadium. And the demolition figures that don't add up. All that and more on the Weekend Wrap. Scaffolding erected over a railway bridge in Warrington collapsed on Saturday night, causing travel chaos for weekend commuters. All trains between Warrington and Liverpool were cancelled on Sunday morning after the scaffolding collapsed near Warrington Central Station. Reports say that a large span scaffolding bridge seems to have buckled and collapsed onto the railway line. Local media reports say the scaffold fell in on itself early Sunday morning amid stormy conditions, and if the weather was up there was anything like it was down here, no great surprise. A Northern Rail spokesman said due to an obstruction near to the track, trains were unable to call at stations between Moseley Hill and Warrington Central. We will bring you more details on that as we get them. Now, if there's one thing that demolition men and women enjoy, it's a challenge. So when a former World War II military base in New Jersey was described as bomb-proof, explosives experts cried out in unison, "Hold my beer." Let's go over to our US correspondent.
Big blast brought down two large buildings on a former military base in Bayonne, New Jersey. Once the property is cleaned up, developers say plans for the site will bring thousands of jobs to that area. Here's CBS 2's Kieran Dillon.
The sound of the explosion could be heard for miles. Smoke filled the air as two 6-story structures from the 1940s came crashing down Sunday.
Started coming down from the 7th floor, 6th floor, 5th floor. And then it was just totally smoke. So.
Like a ripple.
Yeah.
This married couple both worked in one of the two buildings for 40 years. They were some of many locals who gathered to watch the demolition.
It was a very mixed feeling. It was sad because both our offices were on the 7th floor. That came down first.
During the Second World War, the site was used by the U.S. Navy as a supply depot before the Army took control of it in 1967. A wave of base closures halted operations in 1999.
This was a military ocean terminal. It was the Navy and the Army. If our country was attacked, these buildings could withstand a 500-pound bomb.
Officials say because the buildings were created to withstand bombs, crews actually had to go in and remove bomb-proof panels for this explosion. After that work was completed, workers then went in and placed explosives inside the buildings.
The company behind the implosion, Lincoln Equities Group, purchased the 153-acre site in 2018 and has since demolished most of the structures on it. The plan is to build a UPS regional hub facility on the land.
It'll bring thousands of jobs to the region. We're building a brand new road. The major interchange has already been improved, and we're adding a road in order to facilitate the traffic into the new interchange.
And while some are sad to see the buildings go, many are excited to see the economy get a boost.
As far as jobs go, I think it's great because they need a lot of jobs. It's a good thing.
Construction of the UPS complex should be completed by 2023. In Bayonne, New Jersey, Kieran Dillon, CBS 2 News.
Hi there, Mark Anthony here at Demolition News. We broadcast a daily live show and we broadcast it over on LinkedIn, on Facebook and on YouTube. And every show ends with a bit of a round robin chat. Now we always cut that chat off before we broadcast the recorded version onto the various social media platforms. But today we're making an exception. Today's chat revolved around the subject of the worsening skill shortage within the UK demolition and construction industry. And the chat contained so much detail, insight and ideas that I wanted to share it. So sit back, grab yourself a cup of coffee and just listen to what some of the people involved in that chat had to say. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Mark Bryan at JBV Demolition and Mike Keogh at C&D Consultancy and any other Evertonians out there. This one's for you. Everton Football Club yesterday broke ground on the construction of its stunning new stadium at Bramley Moor Dock in Liverpool. The new stadium, excuse me, the new stadium will hold more than 53,000 fans on match days and is being built by Lang O'Rourke, at an estimated cost of £500 million. But as talking about football clubs that aren't West Ham leaves a rather nasty taste in my mouth, let's roll the video and see what all the fuss is about.
Everybody loves Goodison. They've got their own memories. If you've talked to the chairman before and the memories he had as a kid going to the boys' pen and everything else. But listen, great memories at Goodison, but you've got to move forward as a football club. And I think looking to the future and the younger spectators as well, they're going to be spoilt here. You know, this is going to be top of the range, football stadium, seating capacity, everything else. Views of the pitch, won't be any obstructed views that we all used to at Goodison Park. So that's something new to look forward to. But no, listen, the plans are fantastic. You know, just can't wait to see them happen. Obviously, it'll be great to come down and see bit by bit what they're doing and how they're progressing. But imagine European nights here on Bramley Moor Dock. It'll be incredible. So that's something that the players can get a little boost for as well. They want to play in this new stadium. So we're all looking forward to it.
Did you watch any of the Tokyo Olympics? If you did, you will know it was an absolutely stunning event. And even the lack of crowds couldn't detract from the incredible athletic achievements and the sportsmanship on display. Tokyo, like Rio and London before it, will now inherit a legacy of magnificent stadia and upgraded infrastructure that will serve the city for generations to come. But what of the human cost? Sadly, from a construction perspective, the Summer and Winter Olympic Games all too often come at a high human price. According to research conducted by Rhino Safety, there have been 116 construction-related fatalities tied to the Olympics in the last 30 years. 70 fatalities were reported during the construction of the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi in Russia, marking it as the country with the most deaths in the last 30 years. That puts it ahead of the 14 fatalities recorded for the 2004 Summer Olympics in Athens. In contrast, and this is quite nice from an English perspective, London 2012 is considered the safest Olympic build in history. It recorded 0 fatalities with a reported injury rate of 0.17 per 100,000 man-hours. According to the report, Olympic Games are often awarded 7 or 8 years beforehand. They're then expected to be completed within a tight deadline and an even tighter budget, which means that construction projects are operating under a significant amount of pressure. As history has shown, it often comes at the cost of health, safety, and even human lives. Tight timelines, even tighter budgets, contract rights, national and international oversight, labour rights, economic pressure and a need to boost their international reputation often means that pressure is piled on, corners can be cut and rules and essential practices are ignored just to make sure the targets are hit, the report says. This often means that basic health and safety protocols aren't followed, ethical practices practices are ignored, labour and employment rights are infringed, project management suffers, and that injuries and fatalities are underreported or swept under the carpet completely. Sadly, those issues are not limited just to the Olympic Games. A report from The Guardian recently revealed that as many as 6,596 migrant workers have died in Qatar since the World Cup was awarded. The average number of goals scored at a World Cup is 121. If that's the case, Qatar has already cost 55 deaths per goal so far.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Demolition News.